I'm going to ask Representative Drazan a question. What did you mean when you told the Bend Bulletin in your interview that you were looking forward to the conversation of how we could restrict abortion?
First of all, I didn't say that in the Bend Bulletin, so it's important that you actually are accurate when you talk about my comments. What I said to the Bend Bulletin was, we have a lot of very hard, thorny conversations that we have in our public life. In the legislature, we talk about difficult things. We talk about gun laws, we talk about education, suicide rates, affordability, taxes, you name it, complex issues. But the thing that's always off the table, and has always been off the table, we're not able to achieve a civil conversation about it, is abortion access. Oregon happens to be a state that has access to abortion all the way up to birth. That's not common. That's not mainstream. That's unusual. That's outside the mainstream for what most states have for their abortion laws. Elective abortion up until birth is very different than is there a heartbeat? Can you feel pain? Is it a fetus or a child or a baby? That's not that. We're talking right before birth. But as Oregonians, and frankly as public policy makers, we haven't been able to have any conversation about anything, about what is choice and what is child. It doesn't exist. We're not able to bridge that divide. Now, all I said in the Bend Bulletin was that it is unfortunate that we can't do that. And I would hope someday within our civic life that we're able to achieve this conversation where we can have a civil conversation about what does that mean for us as Oregonians. It's the one thing no one can talk about. It's the one thing that nobody ever is allowed to talk about, but we are a complete outlier. We mandate it in public insurance, we mandate it in private insurance, we pay for, tourist abortions into our state, and we allow abortions right up until birth. That is not normal for every other state in the nation, and yet there's no civil conversation that it's allowed on any of it. That was what I was talking to the Bend Bulletin about. And what I thought was interesting was that his question of me was not a highly charged partisan question. His question of me felt like he wanted to actually know what I thought about the issue. And that doesn't happen on this topic. People want to light you on fire, and which is what you've been doing in the race.
Using phrases like tourist abortion, I can kind of see why.
Well, it's public dollars, and it's intended for people outside of our state.
So it's fair to say that if you become governor, you would like this state to have a conversation about abortion.
And here's how I ended the Bend conversation. I am not running for governor to have that conversation. So, we talk about whether or not the ballot measure was aspirational.
Right.
I recognize we can't have that conversation. I am more interested in doing good things for Oregonians than having a divisive conversation on a topic people don't want to talk about. But he asked me a question, and I thought it was sincere.
Okay.